Today's video is all about van life. In fact, answering a lot of questions about van life, traveling in our Class B RV, especially in our 40s, with Bob having a full-time job. We have 2 older kids. Financially, what is it like? And, you know, so much more.
But you might be wondering what's in this box. In last week's episode, I teased you guys about what was potentially in here, and I said I was excited about it. And today, we're gonna open it up and hopefully get to use it. And this is not a sponsored video, just something that we thought might improve our lives in the van. Oh, what is all this? Oh, instructions. Don't need those. Oh, wow. So this is the Wonder Oven. I am quite excited about this. Here in the van, we have a microwave, but you know, it's kind of underpowered. Doesn't really work very well, uses a lot of electricity. So I'm hoping that this will solve many of the problems that I have. And I'm sorry for making so much noise. So we've got the Wonder Oven that we are going to test out. We actually brought our Jackery so that we could monitor how much, electricity it uses, how long is it gonna last, because that has a really good monitoring tool on it. So we're gonna use that. And we're gonna cook some cookies in this thing. I've got our inverter on so that we can start mixing up some cookie dough. All right, Hillary, what's my first question?
Why a Class B and not something bigger?
So some other alternatives to a Class B would have been a Class A, a Class C, truck camper, or a travel trailer. For me, I didn't want to have a travel trailer because I don't have a vehicle big enough to pull it, and I didn't want to buy another vehicle. And same thing goes for the truck camper. I like kind of that idea, but I don't have a truck. I also considered an A, but man, they're just so big. And unless you're going to an RV park, it's really hard to boondock with that, unless you're maybe out here, out west somewhere. So the only alternative might be a Class C, but honestly, I didn't like the way they look, and I couldn't park it in my driveway. So the only thing that kind of works for me and my lifestyle and what I want to do is really the Class B. Time to add a little vanilla. Oh, should I measure? Nah. Seems good enough.
How is van life in your 40s? Because I think a lot of times as we get older, what I've seen is people get bigger RVs, right? You kind of want more space. You want it to be more like a house. We're different than maybe the average van lifer in the sense of what we see a lot of times is younger people getting into vans and then later on in life going, okay, I want to sell the RV. I've been in it for 5 or more years and now it's time to build a house. You see a lot of YouTube channels do that, right? Where that's their next stage is building the house and getting the house and all of that stuff. Well, we're different because we're in our mid 40s. We've already bought the house, had the kids, our kids are in their 20s now. And I think our needs are just a little different. But I will say we love van life. We love the convenience of it and all of that. But also I'm not willing to not have comfort items. And so that was because I watched younger van lifers be fine without a bathroom. And I'm sure there's people our age too that do it. But I'm just saying in general, I realized I need a bathroom. I want a shower. I want a really comfortable bed. A lot of times these vans come with really little mattresses. You'll always see us upgrade our mattresses to something way bigger and way more comfortable. All that to say, that's kind of how it's different in my opinion. We do want the comfort, but we're starting this in our 40s versus starting this when we were younger. So I think there's pros and cons to both of those. What do you guys think? This next one's for Bob, and it is, how do you afford van life? I'm calling it van life, but obviously Class B life, RV life, whatever you want to call it. How do you afford it in your 40s? Because we're not retired, we don't have a big retirement fund that we can use yet. So how do we afford it?
I'll say we didn't pay cash for our van. I know a lot of people do pay cash for RVs. So we had to finance, and that was just something that we did. But we also decided to limit the number of cars we have. And so in doing that, we're able to drive our van like another car and kind of fill that gap of it not having a second car, but then also still have the van so that we can travel and do all the things that we want to in it. And I think it just really came down to a matter of prioritizing, this is what we want to spend our money on, this is how we want to spend our time. And you really just need to do that in order. That is probably the biggest key to getting into van life. I need to do some more mixing so we can start to add the flour here in just a second. Should we do this the right way or should we do it the Bob way?
The right way.
Do it the right way, okay. So this is my flour, salt, and...
Sugar?
No, flour,
Salt,
and baking soda combo.
Yeah. Question number 4. How do we make van life work for us when Bob still has a full-time job and has to be in person 5 days a week?
One of the biggest challenges that we have is I am in person 5 days a week at work. So what that really means is all of our spare time is spent in the van. So we're traveling, planning for videos, going different places. We stay very, very busy and just take advantage of all the spare time that we have. So every weekend, most holidays, you know, any vacations that we have, we just try to jam as much as we can in and, you know, shoot content, enjoy it. And it's a lot of fun. It's also a lot of work, but we really do enjoy it.
I'm so stoked. If this really works and we really get an oven in the van, game changer. What?
I forgot the egg.
What do you mean?
It's supposed to be
Oh, you put the flour
butter,
before
sugar,
the egg.
flour, and I put... Uh-oh. Okay. Well, we're gonna go back and add our egg.
I was wondering why it looks so like grainy.
Crumbly.
Yeah, crumbly.
Me too. I was wondering that. Hey, you can't always be perfect, right? Okay, so that doesn't look terrible. I do feel bad that I did not bring any walnuts for Hillary. That's her favorite.
Who here loves walnuts in their cookies? I bet you more people don't like walnuts in their cookies, but let us know because I want to know. I love walnuts in my chocolate chip cookies. While Bob is finishing up making the cookies before we bake them, I'm going to answer the question, is van life safe? That is something that I thought a lot about before we got into van life. I was always scared about the boondocking aspect, the going to Walmart and Cracker Barrel and different things like that, and thinking like, what if you're not in a good area, or what if somebody knocks on your van, or what if somebody just breaks in? Like, if we're being honest, like, they could just break a window, right? Like, so I was highly concerned about that before we got into van life, and have since realized that I actually feel really safe in the van. I don't know, you just have to take precautions. What we do is we research where we're gonna stay on iOverlander. We don't stay anywhere where people have talked about having major issues or anything like that. We just have to trust other people that have gone before us and done van life, and, you know, trust their opinion and trust what they've experienced, and stay in areas, you know, that seem lit up really well and different things like that. Like we take as much precaution as we can, and then yeah, just there's a few different things that you can do to feel safe, but those are the things that I think we do. Bob, do you have anything to answer, or do you think anything else?
You know, I think the big thing is if you go looking for trouble, you'll find it. I have been shocked as we've traveled in our van, you know, through Canada, the US, Mexico. We've never had any problems, but we also careful where we stay. Like Hillary said, we do all that research and everything. I don't think there's anything to be afraid of if you're just if you're just taking the, you know, good precautions.
Stop it! No.
It's the kind of day you're having, Hillary.
It's the kind of day I'm having.
Let me get you some more.
Oh.
Here, give you a little smaller bite this time.
Take two.
Take two.
Oh my goodness. Okay, if this is wrong, I don't want to be right.
Do you guys read the instructions when you buy new equipment, or do you just, you know, plug it in and give it a try like I do? Because honestly, what I tend to do is I try it, and then if it doesn't work, then I'll go read the instructions. But otherwise, just give it a go the first time around. So, should I bake with this in place, or do you take this out?
As you said, you don't read the instructions.
Because I would think you'd want that element exposed directly to this like that.
Yeah, I would think so too. Next question. How do we find places to stay for free? That is a really popular question that we get. We've tried to make some videos, especially videos in Arizona, on places that we find for free. But like I said in the last question, iOverlander's a good one. Also, what's other websites? Harvest Host is good. It's not, I mean, free is, I don't feel like it's technically free because you have to pay a yearly fee for it, but then all year long it's free. But then you have to make a $30 purchase at the place. So I don't think that's free, but I do think Harvest House is a good place to use because we use it a lot. We go to the Walmarts and the Cracker Barrels, but we use, you know, apps to find those. So like iOverlander is Camper one. What is that? Camporium. Is that still one?
I don't know if that's still.
I don't think it is.
I don't think it is.
Yeah, some of them aren't. But honestly, that's what we use so far. Let us know. Do you guys have any other ideas on finding free places to boondock? So, yeah. I don't know if that was much help, but that's the question. That is one of the questions we get asked a lot.
I need to find the little booklet that I kind of threw earlier that I was like, I don't need this. I need it. I don't know where it's at. Okay, it's a good thing I read the instructions. The crumb tray goes under the heating element, which I did not have it in that position, but the pan is in the right spot, and then we'll be ready to go. So we are bake 350. We'll give that a couple minutes to warm up.
Did it say how long it takes to warm up?
If I read the instructions, I'm sure it would have, but I didn't.
So let's look at our little setup right here. This is real van life right here.
Hey, you do what you got to do. This is just under 1400 watts. This unit has a 2000 watt inverter, so it's using about 80% of its capacity. This, you can also like steam with this, so you can add water in here, it will steam. Yeah, you've got all these awesome settings, so you can like, it's like an air fryer, a broiler, a toaster. I mean, one of the things about having a van that is kind of disappointing, like that's this size, there's no room for an oven. They do make like an oven stovetop kind of combo thing, but there's really no space for any of that. So I was hoping this would be a good option, but this is a little taller than I was expecting it to be.
So it's not going to fit where our microwave goes.
Not unless I completely modify the cabinet, which is not out of the question. But for now,
this is our setup.
This is our setup.
How many minutes, Bob?
Yeah, we're gonna go like 15.
15?
I don't know. Well, okay, we'll go 12. Oh, do you want to go lower? Let's go lower.
You're gonna burn the bottoms. I would imagine, is there a heating element up top too, or no?
There is.
So you probably shouldn't go too low.
Oh shoot. Okay. What am I doing? How did I get here? Okay. All right.
Oh yeah, they're done. I'm turning it off. They're done. They're burning. Wow, that is a small space.
And I can't find our glove, so this is all I got. Oh God, I'm gonna like fry the bottom of that.
Okay, round one.
Done, sort of, almost.
Not that great.
Too hot. It's hot.
I mean, do we really have cookies on the ground right now?
Yeah. I gotta go find a pot holder or something to put those on. It's hot, hot.
You definitely don't need more than 5 minutes.
Well, you do, but I gotta turn the temperature down because it's too hot.
What does the instructions say to do?
What do you mean, what do the instructions say to do?
Did you read them?
I don't need to, I know how to make cookies.
No, but in that little oven, does it have like tips and tricks?
Didn't read that part. This time I'm gonna make them a little flatter. Kind of pre-squish them. All right, let's go put these in. Okay, so let's slide these in. 375, so maybe I'll go like 3 I don't know, right there. We'll get that a try. Question 7 for the second time. So is this 7.2?
Yeah, we already recorded this. And what happened?
I'll take full credit.
Credit?
Or blame.
Blame. He thought. No. Anyways, it was.
Yes,
I
it was
gave
my
it to him with
mistake.
record, and it got pushed off. So moving on. Is it hard to be so confined in a small space together? You know, when we're doing van life.
Yes. I think ultimately, yes, it is a challenge to have 2 people in such a small space.
What do you mean? We're so close to each other.
Yeah, it doesn't.
All the time.
It doesn't mean we don't love each other. It doesn't mean we don't like each other. But there are times when it can be difficult. You know, like for example, after a long day of driving, or if something's been really stressful, it can be hard because you don't really have a lot of space to, like, you know, you can't go into another room and close the door.
Yeah.
And you know,
I'm gonna go in the bathroom and shut the shower.
I mean, that's not the same.
That's not the same. So it can be hard. And also the other part that I think is hard in a small space is how much, like, I just hit my head on the awning. And you heard that, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
I did. And I bump myself a lot in this small space. And half of it has to do with because I'm so tall. But the other half is because it's a small space. So I actually can get annoyed at being in this small space sometimes and wish I had something bigger.
Yeah. The pros outweigh the cons, you know.
I would agree.
It is great to be able to spend so much time together, to be close, to just, you know, all that good stuff.
And then also parking lots and and it'd be easy to drive. So there's, like, we're definitely paying a price for it being small.
Yep. But it's worth it, I think.
It is worth it. At least for now.
Yeah. Until we get something a little bit bigger.
Yeah. Okay, time to check on the cookies?
Time to check on the cookies.
How do these look?
They're looking better.
Yeah, they're looking better.
Probably could turn down the temperature a little bit.
Do you think those are done?
No. What's interesting is this thing, for as small as it is, runs really hot, which I'm grateful for. But like right now it's only drawing 50 watts. So that tells me that it's hot and it's just staying at that temperature. So that's good to know. Because if you were gonna cook something in here for a long period of time, for like, oh, I've got to bake this for like 30 minutes or whatever, you wouldn't use a lot of electricity, because like once it got up to temperature, now it's only using 50 watts versus the, what was it, like 1400 when it first kicked on. So that's good.
Okay.
I'm impressed.
Well, I think we're done. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn these off. A couple minutes early. They've been in for, I would say, roughly 6 to 7 minutes.
I think they're done.
Maybe a little longer, but.
Oh my gosh, Bob. This is a game changer for van life. We have to find a way to store this.
Look at those cookies. They're perfection. That's not thick enough.
It burned you?
No, it's getting close though. So, we need to get an oven mitt. Must do. Oven mitt. Okay. So here's round 1 that was almost burnt. We took them out early so they didn't burn.
I think round 1 looks better than round 2.
What?
Bob, those look a little more brown. Look at those like rows. I don't know.
We better try them and make sure that they're both good.
Yeah. Question 8. What do we do for internet?
Question 8. What do we do for internet? I would say there's 2 basic things we do. One is cellular service. So if you're staying on major highways throughout America, you can get pretty good cell service wherever you need to go. So you can use like Google Maps and that type of stuff. And it's not a big deal. But if you are planning to go pretty much anywhere else, I would highly suggest another option. And we have decided to go with Starlink. This gives you that kind of coverage when you're out boondocking, or if you're not near a highway, if you're wherever. And the Starlink seems to work pretty well. We've only had it for about 3 months, but we've been really happy with it. Now, our van did come with a wind guard, and my research on that, basically, it is a cell amplifier, but it comes at the cost of speed. So you'll get better signal strength, but less speed, which seems counterproductive for what I need the internet for. We have chosen not to use that, and we've been just going with the Starlink.
Okay, next question. Best part and worst part about van life. And I will start first. The best part about van life is that we don't have to wait until we're retired to travel. That's what I have loved. I have loved that we have an RV We don't have to fly anywhere. We don't have to book anything if we don't want to. It could be as cheap as we want it or as expensive as we want it. And so that's been the best thing for me. It's just not having to wait until we're retired to get out on the road, to see things. Like Bob said, we've been to Canada, we've been to Mexico, all the way down Baja California. We've been to the East Coast, everywhere. We've taken this thing so many places, and hands down, one of the best decisions we made and the best things about van life. And Bob's gonna answer, what's the worst thing about van life?
Oh, you don't want to hear my best thing?
Oh, did you have a best
I
thing?
did actually have a different best thing.
The thing I like best about van life is actually the community. We have met some great people along the way.
Oh, he just beat me.
That for me, I also love the traveling and experiencing new things. That is amazing. But I think what really does it for me is just the community around it and the people that we've met. It's just been such a blast. So to move to the negative side of things, what is the thing that's the toughest? Honestly, I think the toughest part for me is because we're not full-time. I have dreams and aspirations to go to so many exciting places, and I can't wait to do it. And I literally have to go to work every day, and I sit and think about, man, I wish I was fill in the blank.
Yeah.
And so
I think it's the balance.
yeah, that is tough. And so trying to keep a good balance of enjoying our weekends and our vacations, but also then going to work every day.
And then also balancing our friends and family. And it is a balancing act that we don't always do the best probably, but we try our best.
We try. All right. Come on. Did you ever think you'd be able to make cookies like that in a van?
Nope. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to try one. Okay.
What is question 10, by the way?
Question 10, before we try these amazing cookies. Look at that, guys.
I think mine look better.
Okay, so this is the first batch that I think actually looks better. And that's the second batch Bob thinks looks better. Let's, here. Which one looks better, guys?
A?
Or B? Put it in the comments down below. B. The most popular question that we get, I bet you already know.
I know it for sure.
Why haven't we bought
A Noovo van.
a Noovo van? Oh man, if I had a quarter every time we got asked that.
We'd have one.
We would have one. I mean, the truth of the matter is, we bought this going on 3 years ago. When it drove off the lot, it depreciated.
Yeah.
Guys, this thing is not worth that much, and we have a loan on it. And so it's hard for us. We had to save a down payment for 2 vans so far, our first van and this van. And so it's just like, it's not like we can go and sell this for what it's worth and
Right.
what we can get, and then, you know, get a Noovo van.
For us right now, we are kind of stuck in Mr. Lemon. As Hillary mentioned, you know, we're kind of upside down on him. And so we're just trying to figure out what to do with that.
Yeah.
And, you know, so in the meantime, we've been, you know, partnering with them on a couple videos. We've
got
touring
partnerships
interviews.
with them coming up.
Yeah, right.
And
right.
if we could, we would choose.
Oh, specific model or like?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, hands down, I would choose the Noovo Plus.
Yeah. You
It
guys
is
know
just-
that. That's not news to anyone. And it's not to say they haven't tried working with us, because they for
Yeah.
sure have.
Yep.
It's just us wanting to make a smart decision and in the right timing.
Yes.
But that one for us right now is like our favorite van. But we're going to continue just, you know, partnering with them. We enjoy them. We enjoy their vans.
And they're great people. They have a great
Great
community
team.
around the vans.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've got nothing but good things to say about their vans.
Yeah. So anyways, that's our number one question. So hopefully that answered it. Let's try. Okay. You want to cheers?
Cheers.
Okay, you're trying the second batch. I'm trying the first.
Perfect, chewy,
Oh my
crispy,
gosh.
chocolatey. It's amazing.
Okay. Now we got to trade.
Oh, hang on.
That one's better, I think. What do you think?
I like those.
These are thinner, and so you get a little bit more of a crisp. They're literally baked to perfection.
I think both are very good. Like if you were to hand me either, I'd be like, yeah, I'll take that.
Cookies, huge success.
Oven, huge success.
Huge success. Are we keeping it?
Yes, if we can find a place to put it.
But this on the road,
Mm.
yes, please. if you guys are interested, like Bob said, we are not being sponsored.
Nope.
But I did link it in our Amazon store if you want to go and take a look at it. But we want the smallest one. Oh my gosh. Maybe we have to buy another box for the back of the van.
And who needs a spare tire? We'll just put a box there and put our oven in it.
That's all we need. Okay. I hope that was 10 questions. I don't even know. I don't even know if it's still recording, but I think that's all we have.
Yeah, as you guys can see, the sun's starting to go down. It's been a very long day of recording. But
Yep. We're going to eat more cookies
yeah,
and enjoy van life.
enjoy the van life.
Okay. Until
All right.
next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.